What's good, fam? In this video, I'm going to tell you my story, how I manifested blowing up on YouTube so I could quit my 9 to 5, then tell you exactly how you can manifest anything you desire, whether you believe you can or not. Watch it till the end because everything I say is pure gold. I'm going to start from when I was in kindergarten. I went to a school called Point Vicente in Palos Verdes, California. The zip code there was 90275, and the average household income there is $160,000 a year, so it's considered a nicer city. There's a reason why I'm telling you this, so just watch the video until the end. That's the golf course that Trump had built along the coast before he was president, just to give you a vibe of how the city is. I lived with my grandma. After being in a talent show dancing to the Men in Black song by Will Smith, I knew I wanted to rap. So Will Smith inspired me to want to rap, and later on in my life, he'd have an even deeper impact that I'll tell you guys about later. My grandma would take me to Peck Park to look at the western fence lizards that lived on the logs. That was my favorite thing to do. I was fascinated with them. I wondered about how they slept, what they ate, how they found water, and where do they go when they hide. A lot of other stuff too. By the time I was in first grade, I was back with my parents in a city just below Palos Verdes called San Pedro. The zip code there is 90731, and the average household income there is $71,000 a year. So that's less than half of Palos Verdes' average household income, which was $160,000. So life there had a different vibe, but I adapted to it and made friends. One being a boy named Michael that lived up the street from me. We'd catch alligator lizards and western fence lizards in the canyon. Fourth grade was when I got my first bearded dragon. I had been reading books about reptiles that I'd find in the school library, so my mom eventually took me to reptile finders to get one. We brought him home, set up his tank, put him in, and I had been so excited to finally get a pet lizard, but it wasn't fun watching my bearded dragon just sit in the same spot all day in the cage. I'd rather be watching lizards sunbathing, moving around, hunting, and picking territories. I remember telling my little brother Javon about a dream I had of having a big room for the lizards so they can move around and act more like the ones outside. So fast forward to middle school. My parents are divorced and I'm living with my mom in Long Beach, California.
With so much drama in the LBC, it's kind of hard being Snoop D-O-double-G.
The zip code is 90804 and the average household income is $63,000 a year, a little less than Pedro. 6th grade, I take a trip to my grandma's house. She had moved to Las Vegas. On that trip, my uncle who records music gave me an opportunity to record my first song. I had been waiting for that moment since I was in kindergarten, so I took it and never stopped recording since. 7th grade year, I remember being at my first middle school party with my brother. We were in someone's backyard in Long Beach. 30 minutes into the party, a car drives by and lets off gunshots. That made me iffy about going to parties. Fast forward to high school. I don't like school, but I love recording songs and chasing girls. I put out a mixtape called Love and Music.
Girl, the name is Young Moses. See, you got a lot of friends, but I just want to be your closest.
Most of my songs were about girls. Then, my cousin DJ was shot and killed at his high school prom party in Long Beach. It was one of his former classmates that shot him. I was over parties. This wasn't the first time I would experience a loss, but it was the most impactful. Seeing a cousin I grew up with on the news and then in a casket did something to me. I started to take life a little more serious. In high school, I ended up experimenting with THC for the first time with my boy Michael from elementary. I made a song for how I was feeling at that time.
I'm in love with this girl. Her name is Mary Jane.
And then at 17, my homie Michael was shot and killed in San Pedro. I made a song for that too.
With the bullet in his shoulder, tried to run, but he collapsed. Then they ran up to him and they shot him in his back. Yeah, we all gotta go sometime, but like that, can't believe that you gone. It's so hard to face facts.
Hey, look, this made me start thinking different. I told myself I would never let my children grow up in an environment like the one that I did. No one in my family had went to college, so school wasn't important to me. It got to a point where I would just show up because I had to. I didn't even care to bring a backpack or pencil some days. So university wasn't realistic to me at the time. I ended up enrolling into a community college with plans to be an x-ray technician. They made $60,000 a year, and at the time I thought that was cool. I wasn't used to actually doing homework and caring about what the teacher was talking about, so trying to start caring at a college level was not happening. When I realized I had to do 2 years of general education before I could even start training to be an X-ray tech, I was over the whole situation. So now I'm just working regular jobs and turning up every chance I get. But not too long after that, life started to get real again. I wasn't happy being stuck at a job following orders from people. It started to feel like a waste of time to me, and the temporary satisfaction from turning up didn't satisfy me anymore. One day I drove to one of my favorite kicking spots in Palos Verdes, right by Trump's golf course. I was filled with thoughts and emotion about wanting to live a life of abundance, free of jobs and restrictions. I wanted it so bad I could cry. I looked at one of the $1 million mansions behind me that I see every time I drive to that spot. I thought to myself, or I might have even said it out loud, I wish I could have a home like that. Then something clicked in me. I can. I knew I could have a home like that. I didn't know how I was gonna get it, but I knew it was possible. I didn't know where the thought came from, but I was grateful. It brought me so much peace and comfort knowing I can and will be really successful one day. Not too long after that, I came across a documentary called The Secret. It was exactly what I was looking for. One of the speakers' names is Bob Proctor. He spoke about the law of attraction and how we're creating our realities through thoughts, belief, and emotion.
Hello and welcome. I'm Bob Proctor, and I am really proud and very pleased to be part of The Secret. You see, The Secret literally changed my life around 45 years ago, and for the past 38 years, I have traveled all over the world, helping people understand The Secret. The law of attraction is always working. You can never escape it. Everything that comes into your life, you're attracting into your life. And you see, as we understand The Secret, then we can sit down and dictate exactly what we want to come into our life.
I was as amazed as he was when he found out about The Secret.
I had never heard anybody talk like that. I thought, wow, anybody can have anything they want. What if that's true? Well, I found out it was true. That's the way we live.
He also taught me that I had to decide on exactly what I want in detail. I was back in 2012. I had an idea of what I wanted, but before I could know exactly what I wanted, I had to know myself. I took 3 years from 2012 to 2015 disconnecting from the Matrix. If you don't know what I mean, I'll explain. The system we're born into, I refer to as the Matrix. The Matrix is built of religion, TV, government, school, jobs, basketball, football, news, holidays, traditions, social media, belief systems, and anything that's already cracking when we touch down. Anyway, I lost a job and ended up camping with a chick for almost 2 months. The experience was dope because we had no worries. No phone, no bills, no responsibilities. We didn't have to think about anything other than just relaxing and enjoying the present moment. During that time, I learned that I like to meditate. I relaxed in nature all day and night, listened to classical music, experienced spiritual psychedelic trips, sun gazed, spoke positive words into my drinking water, read books, listened to seminars, podcasts, and audiobooks by a lot of different successful people. I was becoming a new person. After that phase, life hits me again. It takes me out that chill, go with the flow vibe and into a more focused, passionate, and inspired vibe. I started to love to be surrounded by good energy. Reptiles always brought me good vibes, so I set up an area in my room for some banana split tree dragons to live without a cage. I got an urge to make a YouTube channel and do a video on my setup, so I followed it. I named the channel Reptiles Uncaged, then uploaded a video called How to Keep Lizards in Your Room with No Cage. I knew people would like it, but I didn't think much else of it. 5 months later, I checked the video to see how it's doing. It has 50,000 views, almost 500 subscribers, and a lot of comments saying, please post more videos. I thought to myself, if they like this, imagine what they would think if I did an entire room with a lot of different species. From then on, I was obsessed with researching every little detail about the animals I would get, how I would build it, what they would eat, how I'd add water without damaging the room. what I would do videos on, what camera I would use, what video editing program. I taped a piece of paper on the wall of my room saying I will be the best reptile channel on YouTube with 100,000 subscribers by the end of 2017. The people I learned from taught me to think about what I want as much as possible.
Now think, what if I'm right? What if I can show you, just like that, how to change what comes into your life? Because I can. Now I'm going to suggest you do something that I did. I want you to get a card, and I want you to move your imagination into high gear, and I want you to write on that card what you want. You don't have to know how to get it. You don't have to know where the money's going to come from. You don't have to know where the resources are going to come from. The only thing you have to know is, I really want that. Now, you see, I wanted $25,000. I didn't have a clue. I didn't even know anyone with $25,000. But you know, a year later, I was earning $175,000.
I got to a point where I had thought everything out in my head and even wrote it out on paper too. I wanted to grow on YouTube enough to be able to quit my 9-to-5 that I hated.
If you know what you want, you can have it, but you must impress it upon your subconscious mind. And you can do that through writing it out.
After wanting a path to success for so long, I knew exactly how I was going to do it. I just needed to bring it to life with action, but I couldn't act because I needed money to build the room, get animals, and all the equipment I need to make the videos. I needed about $4,500. Then one day, I was in my car waiting to pull out of a parking lot, and a lady slammed it into my front bumper. It was perfect. I saw it as a blessing in disguise. Long story short, my car ended up totaled and I got $5,500 for it. And we already know what I did with that. I started posting videos regularly and made sure I made them as entertaining as possible and kid-friendly. The channel was growing at a cool pace. Then I got the idea to buy 1,000 crickets and dump them all into the reptile room and film the reptiles hunting.
Camera and say cricket.
I posted that video. It was doing all right. Then one day I get an email from a dude named Benji Wilson with Mail Online, the world's largest English language newspaper site. Someone had reposted my video on Reddit. The post gained momentum and ended up on his computer screen. He was asking if I could grant him a perpetual worldwide license to use 90 seconds of the cricket video on the Mail Online websites, apps, and social media accounts. And of course I granted it and just asked him would he be willing to put my YouTube URL in the video. He agreed. Before I knew it, that video was at 1 million views, then 2 million. I quit my job and had almost 40,000 subscribers within just 4 months of posting videos. I still drove Lyft from time to time, but I wasn't taking orders from anybody. This was in August of 2017. Not only did I have the genuine feeling of being the best reptile channel on YouTube, I had a lot of people telling me I was the best reptile channel on YouTube. And that right there meant the world to me. It proved that everything I had learned and put into action was real. It was true. And look, family, the best part was I'd be able to tell people exactly how they can do it for themselves. Then I accidentally deleted the channel. I had to start back at step 1. But in reality, I'm not really at step 1 because I learned so much. It's going to be even easier the second time around because the knowledge that I've gained and my belief is stronger. If I hadn't accidentally deleted it and kept posting consistently, I'd for sure be at 1 million subscribers by now. But it wasn't meant to happen that way. This way is way better, and look, this is why. When I set out to do the channel, I wasn't really aware of the impact that I would have on people's lives or the influence I'd have on the young minds that were watching me. I always spoke about how having the room was a dream for me since the 4th grade in my videos, so I had kids writing me from all over about their stories and how they want to follow their dreams. Adults too. I figured this would be a good real life example to show you guys you can write the story to your own life through decision, belief, thought, and action. So I won't be posting any more new videos on this channel until I get my Reptiles Uncaged storefront set up. But this was just part 1. I posted part 2, the best part, on my new channel, Noonie 10 Million. That's the video that's gonna change your life. If you don't believe that you're capable of doing and manifesting anything you want with the power of your mind, after you see it, I swear to God, there won't be a doubt in your mind that that you can do anything that you want. I put my soul into that video. It's one of the best, most life-changing videos ever posted on the internet. It's gonna change your life and give you a whole new perspective on this world. I'll get into how I manifested going to jail unconsciously. A week after I stopped watching these shows and doing all that imagining, the cops knock at my door talking about you're under arrest for a 211. For those that don't know, a 211 is a whole armed robbery. How XXXTentacion and others manifested their death. Before he died, he shot a music video to his song called Sad. In this video, he shows up to his own funeral. And most importantly, how we all can manifest anything that we want with thought. We're gonna start with this lady that manifested winning the lottery for 112 mil. I swear to God, it's gonna change your life. So click the link and I'll see you over there.
Even though I love